Everybody wants to lead a successful life, yet it seems like no matter how much we achieve or accumulate, we never seem to be satisfied. Perhaps it's the curse of human nature, but I believe that the single common flawed denominator is that we view success as a threshold. There is no line to cross, no award to win, no clear point at which we've achieved greatness and will maintain it for eternity. Instead, success is the journey, the constant progress. It's a concept that I've struggled with for most of my life, and it's manifested through a lot of my extracurricular and academic struggles. And yet, I find that whenever I need a reality check, I need only look back at my time on the CIS Husky swim team as proof that success lies in constantly evolving. As you may tell, I've always loved to swim. And when I discovered the swim team at CIS, taking that leap, or dive, if you will, into competition seemed like a no-brainer. I love swimming, so how hard could it be to just win? Initially, my luck proved me right. I'd been on the team for about 4 months when I went for my first competition, and as I got in there, swimming my 50-meter freestyle, my times dropped from 1:30 to 50 seconds. That is a huge jump. I was over the moon. It was exhilarating, and suddenly I was so excited by the potential successes that I thought were coming my way. I felt that way for the next few months, and then I turned 11, and the dreadfully inescapable plateau of any learning curve hit. And suddenly, all my training, all my effort, contributed to only minuscule improvements. The first time it happened was at a competition early in the year. I hadn't been training as hard as usual, but not hard enough to lose the momentum that had been fueling me for a year. I got there, swam my standard 50-meter freestyle, and as I looked up from the pool, exhausted, heart pounding, everything stopped. I dropped my time by 0.03 of a second. That's 0.03 seconds. And in my mind, the mind of someone who'd gotten so used to seeing their times improve by 3, 4, even 10 seconds at a time, this was failure of the highest order. I came fourth, which isn't last. But the cruel part of any learning curve is that when you get so used to winning, to succeeding, anything other than first can be crushing. And it's a feeling that I'm sure everyone has experienced or will experience throughout their lifetime. I struggled afterwards with maintaining a consistent attendance, with constantly falling into the headspace that my effort was contributing to no significant output, and so my effort must have been pointless. On days when I normally have woken up determined and motivated, I found myself exhausted and worried that I was no longer successful at something that I loved. I struggled with that feeling for years afterwards. I'd go for trainings, I'd go for meets I was required to, but suddenly all those minuscule increments of progress, they were so disheartening. And I felt like my progress was no longer successful enough to celebrate. Instead, my success was no longer successful enough to celebrate. And I found my belief in myself and my place on the team fading. And this finally started to change when I started to understand what success really meant. Since that moment, I'm only growing more confident in my version of success. Every day, our goals are changing, but also is what makes you successful. On one day, my goals might be to improve my time by 5 seconds or 6 seconds. But on another, much tougher day, my goal is just to show up. On both days I was successful because no matter how small my progress was, I kept going. And no matter how small my progress was, it was something to celebrate. This is the understanding that I hope that you all can take with you today. We decide whether to measure our success through the destinations we reach, or every mile you've traveled to get there. Whether it's handling a situation a little better than before, swimming a little faster, or speaking a little kinder. No matter how big or small your progress, it deserves to be celebrated. So, even in your toughest moments, when the progress you're making feels inadequate, I hope that you all know all you have to do is just keep swimming.